And welcome everyone to this special Max Live edition of Skyline Basketball Playoffs. Here we're live in Farmingdale, New York at the Knoll Hall Athletic Complex, where we have a special matchup on our hands today. It's the #1 seed Farmingdale State Rams taking on the #4 seed Yeshiva University Maccabees. Simi, I'm Jack Gantrow. We have this game. You know, these teams have played. The Skyline Conference has a round robin, so each team plays each other twice. These two teams met 9 days ago, and there was a thriller right here at the Knoll Hall Athletic Complex. Simi, what can you tell me about that matchup?
Well, in the last matchup, both teams played very well, and it was a very equally matched game. Went into double overtime. Yeshiva ended up losing by 4 points, but it was a very close game. Both teams missed a couple of shots late. It was really anyone's game. Compared to the first game, when these teams played earlier in the season, Farmingdale won by 9 points, 80-71, but Yeshiva has come out with some new players. Ever since January, they've gotten Gabe Leifer, who's made a major contribution to their team, along with their 2 top scorers in the conference, Bar Aluf, Simcha Alper. These 3 have led the team so far this year, and they've continued in the playoffs, and we'll be looking to see a lot of scoring for Yeshiva. They led the conference in scoring, and they have really done a great job of putting the ball in the bucket, and that's what you need to do to win games.
Yeah, we have the pleasure of seeing 2 of the top scoring teams in the conference. Gabe Leifer, as you mentioned, was the key January edition. We'll give you the national anthems and the starting lineups coming up next. Stay tuned for this semifinal edition. And we're back here in the Old Hall Athletic Complex. I'm Jack Gantra alongside Simi Warso. And the starting lineups and national anthems were just took place. I will read those to you right now because we were at a commercial break for the Macs. Starting is the new transfer, as we mentioned earlier, number 4, Gabe Leifer. We also have number 20, Simcha Halpert, 23, Bar Aloof. Those are going to be the 3 key scorers for the Macs. But, you know, it was some of the role players that stepped up big, and we'll get into that later in the first round, win against Mount St. Mary's. And Tyler Hode, number 4, and Donnie Katz, number 33, for the Macs, wearing their blue uniforms. The road unis, usually you don't see those on Macs Live. And for the Rams, in their white with the green stripes on the side. Some new faces for those diehard Rams fans out there, a few new faces. It's Troy Feeney, Jermaine Frazier, George Riefenstahl, the big guy in the middle, Matthew Graham, and Ali Mableton. And the tip is one all the way back. It's Riefenstahl who settles it, and it's going to be Matthew Graham. You know, Matthew Graham, the 2017 most outstanding player in the Skyline tournament last year. These are the defending champion Rams, and they are trying to defend their crown, and it starts right now.
Now, I wanted to mention you earlier, Jack. This team has been here. They've done this already. They know what they're doing. They're very experienced. They have only one senior on their team, but yet they seem to play with a lot of experience, play with a team who knows what they're doing. They're very well coached, and we should look for a very good game tonight.
And you know, last year these Macs played in the first round of the playoffs at Purchase College, and I was on the call, and they went down really big, really early. I was something around 16-0. The road environment really got to them on that first possession. It was Jermaine Frazier got the layup. We'll see if the Macs can answer. That one looked to be off the Rams, and it was.
Well, Yeshiva last game they played a couple nights ago in their win. They also went down 15-0, but they were able to storm back with a strong second half and ended up winning the game by 13 points.
Here's Simcha Halpert around to Aloof. Katz and Hode. The starting lineup for the Macs, the high-flying Macs team who like to run and gun and score with the best of them. Katz from long range, and it's good.
Just like what happened the other night, their first score was Katz hitting an open 3, and what a way to start the game.
You know, Donnie Katz, the Baltimore product, was a coming out of nowhere unsung hero on last year's team, and he's continued the pace throughout this year, coming up big, the big man who could shoot it from the outside. Riefenstahl mid-range game off the front rim, no, and Gabe Leifer cleans up the board. I'm going to be saying that one a lot tonight.
Well, Riefenstahl, if he can hit that mid-range jump shot, Yeshiva's in trouble. He's had a couple games where he's been able to score over 20 points, and in those games when he's been able to hit the mid-range shot, he's been a real big handful, and teams have had a lot of trouble guarding them.
A great pass there inside to Halpert, who fumbles it. But, you know, Katz, they know the scouting report. They jump out on him. This time they don't. Back-to-back threes, no good. Wide right. Rebound, Rams. Matthew Graham bringing up the ball, playing the point, a more traditional offense for the Rams. Lee Mableton inside the Riefenstahl, and that's where they're going to like to work it from. You'll see double teams all night, and that's Gabe Leifer helping there. Riefenstahl again from almost the same spot on the other side of the court, and that one's pure.
And you see Farmingdale State's offense coming out in a calm, slow tempo. They want to play their half-court game. They want to move the ball, get the ball to the inside, and constant movement is going to tire this defense out quickly. And they know Yeshiva's starters, Bar Aloof, Simcha Halpert, lead the conference in minutes per game, and they're trying to tire them out early on.
One thing you see early from the Macs as Halpert misses that shot is they're going to look to bring Riefenstahl away from the basket on offense. 5 are outside, and Mableton drives, blocked by Halpert. Mableton gets it back, and it's out of bounds, it seems like, staying with the Rams.
And you like the help defense by Halpert. Gets over there after the pump fake and gets the block. Unfortunately, they couldn't regain possession, but you like the good team defense as a steal by Leifer.
Sloppy pass by Riefenstahl leads to a 2-on-1, but the Macs will settle it on offense. It's Aloof. You know, no traditional point guards for the Macs. Aloof likes to be the guy at the top of the key. And he gets it inside, but he can play inside as well. Leifer, they're leaving him open, and he airballs there. Tyler Hode with a valiant effort to save it, but he does not. And Riefenstahl gets it. And you know the Rams fans will get him on for that. Get on him for that one, as that one is tipped, and it will stay here.
Well, Leifer this season actually has been shooting very well from the outside, 39% from 3, and the fact that they're leaving him open is interesting because Leifer's really been able to hit the open looks. He's had trouble when he's been contested, but we've seen him hit a lot of threes from the corner on open looks off kickouts, and we'll see if they keep giving him that shot. They don't want him to bring the ball to the inside, and they got to play their game.
Yes, for sure. Here's Katz. Around to Halpert. Halpert, in the first half of the year when Gabe Leifer was still in Israel, was scoring an enormous amount of points, and it was really his volume that was up. Now he's really settled into a great role, still scoring plenty of points, but doing at a more efficient pace, as we are a little bit over a little under 3.5 minutes into this game, as some Max fans piling in, and that was a travel by Simcha Halper. You know, looks like a little bit of the jitters, you know, early in this big environment. I don't know how many fans have been to the Noah Hall Athletic Complex, but it is a beautiful gymnasium, and it's a hostile environment out here. Here's a Lee Mableton from right in front of the free throw line, no good. Gabe Leifer with a strong board over Riefenstahl, something the Max sorely missed in the first half of this season. The offense for the Max, a little bit slow early. Getting it inside to Aloof from short range, and another air ball by the Max. And based on some of these inside shots, look to see a few more outside shots by the Max in order to get on the board.
Well, they're getting some good looks on the inside, haven't been able to fall, but I do think they're getting good shot selection so far, and they're forcing Farmingdale to take deep shots. As you see right there, they get another offensive rebound, but, you know, they're forcing tough shots, and that's what they need to do.
Yeah, if that was Frazier, strong off the back rim, the sophomore forward. A couple of younger guys on for the Rams as Riefenstahl knocks it down from the elbow. You know, George Riefenstahl is a first-team All-Skyline last year as a sophomore. Expect him to take home plenty of hardware in this year's honors, as Halpert inside with only a guy on him, and that's too easy for Simcha Halpert.
Well, going back to George Riefenstahl, shooting 57% from the field. He's leading the conference in shooting percentage, and you've seen early on, he's been taking, you know, mid-range shots and still knocking them down. And as I mentioned earlier, if he's hitting those shots, he's going to be a handful tonight.
Yeah, no shame from Riefenstahl, as he has done everything on the offensive end. A nice inside pass, fumbled there by Frazier. Gets it to Riefenstahl.
And that's the fourth offensive rebound for the Rams early on, and that's going to be an issue for them.
Graham from long range, and he gets it down. Rams 9-5, as Matthew Graham from Valley Stream, New York, knocks that one down. Beautiful scoreboards here as well, with the location of the player's place of birth. Here's Gabe Leifer. He'll draw double teams as well. Getting it into Loof with the smaller defender on him, and he knocks it down. Baro Loof from right inside the free throw line cuts the lead to 2.
Definitely worth noting, Baralouf has his left hand taped up. He's had some trouble with his finger this season, and you see he's still playing full minutes, but his shot might be a little bit off, as we saw the other night, but early on he's looking good.
Feeney misses there. First guy off the bench for the Max, Kevin Boker, who provided a great spark in Tuesday's first-round matchup. Aloof for 3, good. Bar Aloof, the hand tape has nothing on him early, as the Yeshiva University Maccabees take the lead. As I mentioned, last year's playoff game got out of hand early. The Max respond as it's 10-9, 13:40 to go. Riefenstahl again using the bank, not there, and a foul there, as too many offensive rebounds for the Rams. No one boxing out. It's not even the bigger guys getting the rebounds. It's some of the forwards for the Rams who are just crashing the glass and outworking the Max early inside.
Well, that's why you bring in Kevin Boker right now. You bring him in, very smart player, and he's going to keep guys out of the lane, keep guys off the boards, and as you mentioned, even the guards got to block out. You know, you've seen a couple Rams flying in for rebounds, and it looks like Yeshiva's jumping for balls as opposed to blocking out and then getting it. And they've had a little trouble rebounding this year, and they're hoping to outscore opponents. But in the playoffs, they really have to focus on stuff like boxing out, nitty-gritty stuff sometimes that they maybe got away with during the regular season, but now they're going to have to focus a lot more on clearing out, as you see Kevin Boker with a nice box out right after the free throw.
Tyler Hode bringing up the ball, as Kevin Boker, as you mentioned, checks into the ball game, placing Gabe Leifer. Simcha coming off a curl, a nice move, and he gets that one to go. Simcha Halpert, you know, one of the best scorers this Max program has seen in a while. and that was a beautiful take there. Not many guys can get inside like that and twist and turn his way to an easy bucket.
And now that he mentioned that, I actually have to mention, I heard, and I got verified by our athletic director, Joe Bednar. She told me that Simcha Halpert actually has the record for most points in a single season in yeshiva history, with about 555 right now, I believe, after so far a few minutes into the game.
Look at Kevin Boker going after that rebound to no avail as the Rams get, a great hustle play, as you were talking, by Donnie Katz. Those are the plays that they like to see. The defense not there as Matthew Graham lays it up and in. This game up, the lead changes and ties are up and down. 12-12 here with 12:22 to go in the ball game. Here's Halpert, fumbles and stumbles and bumbles there in the corner, but he gets it back out to Katz, to Aloof. Aloof can take anyone to the rim, and a nice pass there to Halpert. Pumps, gets his man in the air, and pure. Simcha Halpert knocks it down. 15-12 max.
Dangerous play by Bar Aloof, gets himself in the air with nowhere to go. Luckily, Simcha Halpert makes himself available and gets an open look and bails out Aloof and gets a nice three.
Another offensive board, but it goes out of bounds, but the hustle is definitely there. New faces checking in for the Rams. It's Liam Monahan and #1 Chaz Platt. One of the things we sort of mentioned in the opening, and as we have a timeout, we have a few minutes here to mention it. The Rams play a lot more guys than the Macs do. We were looking at some of the minutes per game, and the Rams have 10 guys averaging over 10 minutes per game. For the Macs, it's a little bit less, and the Macs stats, no rhyme intended there, is a little bit skewed as some of the guys have coming in January. Some guys played a little bit more, also the injuries early in the season. So for the Macs, they got to have their best players play a lot of minutes in order for them to handle this Rams pressure.
Only one Farmingdale Rams player is averaging more than 27 minutes a game. That's Matthew Graham. He's averaging 30 minutes a game. But if you look on the yeshiva side, Simcha Halpert averaging 35 minutes a game, Bar Aloof averaging 36 minutes a game, Gabe Leifer averaging 33 minutes a game. They have 4 guys who play more minutes per game, three guys who play more minutes per game than anybody else on the Rams, and that could come into play as the season grows on. We haven't seen any wear and tear on Simcha Halpert or Bar Aloof, but as the playoffs come along, it's a more intense game, and even small details, even a little less energy could make a big difference. And we've seen early on the Rams looking to sub in a little quicker than yeshiva.
And as you say that, Arik Williams checks to the scores table. Aloof off the back rim, and the Rams are there. No Max to speak of as they get back on defense. And the Rams will get back on offense here. One of the things about these Rams bench players is they're more experienced, and they've started a bunch of games. The starting lineup has not been set all season. As I say that, Monahan gets inside the Riefenstahl, working on Leifer. Back to Monahan for 3, right off the bench, no good. And Gabe Leifer gets the rebound. Here's Tyler Hode, Kevin Boker, Gabe Leifer. All stars in the Sarachek tournament coming up next as Gabe Leifer knocks down the 2 there. Gabe Leifer in the first game, we mentioned it earlier, 2 of 17 here against Farmingdale. And no one else wants to play better than Gabe Leifer after that performance, and he knows it. And early on, he's looked good, both sides of the ball. Here's Chaz Platt trying to get inside. Good entry pass, but the defense is there for the Macs, and that's going to be a foul on Riefenstahl around 70 feet from the hoop. Not what you're looking for from your big man, but that was the hustle by the Macs, the defense, the help defense, and the lead is up to 5 here as Arik Williams is going to check into the ball game, the 6'5" forward.
And definitely worth noting, in the first matchup that these two teams played in, it was a top-heavy scoring for the Rams. Riefenstahl had 22, Mableton had 21, Graham had 14. No one else really had more than 6 points, but last game, a much more balanced offense, and that tells a little bit about Farmingdale's coaching throughout. As the season has gone along, they've tried to go with a more balanced attack. They've tried to change things up a little bit, and we're seeing a different team than we've seen at the beginning of the season. Just like Yeshiva has a little bit of a different team, adding a couple new faces and having a couple injuries, the Rams also have changed up their rotations and minutes as the season has gone along.
Justin Hode checking into the ballgame, the hero from the first round win against Mount St. Mary's, hitting 4 threes, and here he is again, not shy, short. And that was Justin Hode playing with his brother Tyler Hode, both Frisch Cougar products, and Justin has an enormous amount of confidence, as he should, from the big win against Mount St. Mary's. The three there is pure by Chaz Bled. He wanted a foul, doesn't get the call, but he knocked down the three anyway. And the lead is down to 2 for the Macs. We're over 10 minutes into this first half, playing back and forth with these two teams, arguably the two best teams in the conference, putting seeds aside. As here's Simcha Halpert getting it to Kevin Boker, who can play inside and out. Out to Gabe Leifer with a long defender on him in Williams. Tip there with only 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
And definitely worth noting, it's very hard for a coach to prepare for a team where you don't know where the points are going to come from. With Yeshiva, it's really been 3 main guys. It's been Simcha Halpert, Baraloof, it's been Gabe Leifer. But for the Rams, for Farmingdale State, they've been unpredictable. You know, Chaz Platt just came off the bench, and he only had 3 points in the entire last game. So a very balanced attack is very hard to prepare for, and a deep 3 from Halpert is good.
Simcha Halpert from the Skyline Conference logo here in the Farmingdale State Gymnasium gets the lead back up to 5, and Simcha has looked great early as Ellie Mammon, the captain, the senior, checks into the ball game. Active hands for the Macs on defense here, as they've only allowed 15 points in over 10 minutes. Good defense, you know, and if the rebounding was a little bit better, it could be even less. Simcha Halpert, I praise him a little bit too much when I'm on the broadcast. I'm going to try to hold back, but what a great player he is. Tough place to inbound here for Platt, and he's having trouble. But the inbound goes to another new face. It's Kyle Beeson. Out to Graham. Graham trying to take a loof. Tough shot. No good. Can they rebound? They do. It's Halpert with help from Gabe Leifer, and the Macs back on the offensive end. Here's a loof to Halpert, who thinks about that. You know, they're going to have to step out on him from all the way there. It could be trouble for the defense. Here's Hode, a little contact, but he stepped out of bounds. And a turnover for the Macs. Strong take by Hode, but he was 1 step too much to the right.
Definitely worth noting Simcha Halpert has interestingly hit 2 threes in every single game he's played this season. And with 1 tonight, I don't want to jinx him, but you know, he's played very well, and something that the Rams can get ready for, and they probably did. Simcha Halpert's going to shoot 3s as he hits one from deep early on.
Yeah, you know, Coach Twomey for the Rams, 5th year at the helm. He knows what he's doing. This is back-to-back regular season champs. As a great rebound there by Leifer, but then a turnover, a team turnover, I'd say. It looked like a travel, and are they going to call it? They do, yes. A late call there by the refs, but they just wanted to calm everything down. Definitely looked like a travel from the beautiful booth we have here set up for us. Bleachers with backs to them here in Farmingdale, New York, something you don't see very often, but very helpful for someone with a bad back like myself.
Let me tell you, Jack, I feel very comfortable up here. I'm very happy to be here. We have a whole entire bleachers to ourselves, and wonderful hosts, Farmingdale State, wonderful hosts.
And great Wi-Fi too, you know, something you don't get from everywhere. Here's Mammon inside, back out to Leifer. You know, Mammon's a 3-point specialist, draws a double team. An interesting pass there, but it's going to be a turnover. And Steinmetz goes straight to the back. Bench to Donnie Katz there. To check out who will come out. It looks like Simcha's coming out, calling out some assignments on the defensive end.
And you've seen early on the Rams very aggressive, not only on the offensive rebounds, but cutting to the basket. And they've gotten a couple easy foul calls on Yeshiva because they're just being aggressive. They're taking the ball towards the basket, and as you see, they're hustling. They're moving quickly without the ball.
Here's Monahan, sloppy play there as both benches have coming into the ballgame. You see a little bit of a downgrade of the play here as some sloppy dribbling there. Mableton right off the bench. We've seen that a lot today, and he misses that. Guys have been coming off the bench and shooting with no shame. Here's Aloof, who gets to the rim with ease, as I like to say. Misses there, Leifer fighting for the board, but it's the Rams who take it, and they're going to try to push. It's Platt, close to a carry, no call. An athletic move, but they call a foul there on Hode. The coaching staff for the Macs is looking for it to go both ways. But with 7:19 to go here, it's Yeshiva 20 and the Farmingdale State College Rams 15.
Well, Chaz Platt this season averaging 6.6 points per game. He's early on being aggressive. As I mentioned earlier, he's taking the ball hard to the basket, and he gets to the free throw line, something he doesn't do very often. And that is what you want to see. He shoots 2 free throws a game, so early on, it's definitely good to see he's a 79% free throw shooter as he hits the first.
One for 2 for the Rams here. The story of their free throw shooting so far. Again, I'm Jack Gantra alongside Simi Warsaw. We're here live in Farmingdale, New York. Not the usual court you see on MaxLive.com, but when the time comes, we need to bring it to you. And Gabe Leifer, and one.
A strong move by Leifer. Puts the ball on the ground, takes a couple dribbles, turns, faces, and scores. And just too quick of a move to stop. You know, you don't want to put your hands down. You don't want to foul, but once he puts the ball down, makes his move, he's been deadly in the post this season. He's been averaging 18 points a game while shooting from the field 48%. Pretty good for a rookie.
You know, really throughout his career, you talk about this season, you go back to his high school days. As I've mentioned on previous broadcasts, Sarachek champion, the undefeated season just a couple of years ago. Him and Yoav Deutsch, both members of that team, are a part of the Max. Again, active hands for the Max defense. Pulling Gabe Leifer away from them. Tough shot there, and it's an air ball. And Tyler Holt looks to push. He has Aloof all alone, and he lays it up and in. Bar Aloof cheating a little bit in a very good fashion. Not the word I was looking for. But with these fans electric here, up and down, are the Max fans as the lead is ballooned to 8. Platt from the long range, not even close. Leifer pushing it ahead to Halpert, one-on-one with Mableton. Pulls up, and off the back rim, no. Riefenstahl clears, you know, a little bit too excited maybe were the Max there, as their lead has gone up to 8, and really, you look 6 minutes and 5 seconds left. The defense, 16 points in. They've only given up 1 point in the last 4 minutes, and it's missed shots because of the help defense. Sloppy play here is Miller off the bench, trying to dribble through a couple of guys. A little bit undersized, that 5'8" with Tyler Hode on him. Great D by Hode, and that's off the back iron, no good. Aloof, can he pull it in? No, but it's Leifer once again clearing the board.
And worth mentioning, Dynacats right there with a great box out now. Riefenstahl went over his back, nothing was called, but you box out, somebody else might get the rebound. You might not get any stats for it, but right there, the box out really helped the Yeshiva get the rebound.
You know, it's a team sport, and rebounding is nothing short of that. Katz for 3, good. Donnie Katz, the lead is up to 11, timeout Rams. And there is excitement on the players and the fans as the Maccabees have reason to believe against the 1 seed and defending champion Farmingdale State, as there has got to be some doubt here, as the Rams have not seen this kind of offense and defense, as that is exactly what Gabe Leifer has brought to this team. It's the defense that has really changed. You know, the Max may be able to score all season long, but right now it's their defense that's winning them this game, as the lead is up to 11.
Well, definitely worth noting, last time these two teams faced off after the first half, Farmingdale State had a 36-31 lead. And it's interesting to note that Yeshiva has been able to score a lot, but as you mentioned, their defense in the first half, they've only allowed 16 points, and last time it was 36 after the first half. So right now they're playing very well on the defensive end, and it looks like the Rams, as you mentioned a few times, have been getting a little bit sloppy. They've been having some unforced errors, some errant passes, and Yeshiva has done a great job pushing the ball on offense. We saw in a couple plays in a row where Tyler Hode hit an open man, and Simcha Halpert was hit on a deep pass. He didn't convert, but you like their aggressive, keep their head up the court, and they've been able to get some easy buckets. And of course, as they've been doing all season long, knocking down threes, and that's what Yeshiva does best, as they lead the conference with a 39% from the free throw line as a team, head and shoulders above any other team in the Skyline Conference.
Yeah, shooting 50% from deep are the Max, 5 of 10 early in this game. That's a recipe for success. Let's see if the Rams can answer the Max punch here. Back on offense, coming off their timeout. Here's Riefenstahl, who has not shot the ball in a few minutes. Mableton, it's back with 4 of the starters. Here's Graham with an open look for 3. No good. Another miss for the Rams, but An offensive rebound there by Frazier, back out to Mableton. Mableton is capable of getting to the rim. A speedy guard, and here's Frazier, misses, no good. That's going to be off Bar-Aloof, and it will stay here in a new shot clock. So the one thing the Macs are having trouble here is the offensive glass, but in terms of forcing tough shots, that's exactly what they are doing.
Well, again, as I mentioned, boxing out not only on your man is important. You see a guy crashing the boards on the last 2 plays after the shot goes up, you just got to pick up a man. If you see a man coming down the lane, you got to get him out of there. And Macs have not done a good job tonight so far of doing that.
Graham gets inside and gets the layup to go. The lead is back to single digits. A cheat there by Mableton to no avail. Katz again for 3, knocked down, and that's a call. You know, it was a late call, but he got under that landing of Katz. That was Feeney, the sophomore, and you know, you don't want to do that, especially the shot was not going in. Who am I to say? If he didn't have contact, it didn't look like it was. But Katz is rewarded with taking the 3, as he'll have 3 chances here at the charity stripe.
Worth noting, the Rams, 7 sophomores on their squad, and 5 of them have played more than 25 games, so in almost all of the games. So they have younger guys going out there playing big-time minutes, and sometimes that comes back to bite you. A little bit of inexperience and not a smart play right there to foul 3-point shooter, someone who's been struggling from the 3-point line this season. Donnie has done well so far tonight, but you don't want to foul there. Not the foul you want. As the next free throw goes in and out.
The lead is up to 11, though, as Donnie did his part. Farmingdale State College here, the site for this one. Max up 11. Sloppy play there, turnover. It's Leifer going with a 2-on-1 with Katz. He will take it himself, and he gets it to go. Gabe Leifer, no need for the 2-on-1. It was a one-man show on that one. 31-18, 4 minutes to play here in the first half. It's been all Max throughout this one. Here's Mableton, a little push-off, and they're going to call that all day. An offensive foul by the white team, the Farmingdale State Rams. As that was Mableton, you know, it's been a little frustrating on the offensive end, a lot of missed shots. And Mableton will go back to the bench, as that would be his second foul here with 3:56 to go in the half. Max up 13, and no signs of slowing down. Here's Aloof, back out to Leifer, to Katz. You know, as I said earlier, for those who just tuned in, 5 are outside, and another foul there. And that's the same guy. It's Troy Feeney, another long-range shooter foul. And they will quickly go to the bench as 2 questionable decisions there. They'll go back to Beeson.
I got to tell you, Jack, it's very hard to close out, especially when you know the guy's going to be shooting. The Yeshiva has been able to knock down 3s, and the scouting report definitely is, don't let them get open looks. So you got to close out, but it's very important to stay on your feet and not follow through. Both of those 2 fouls came after he shot. First time it was Donnie Katz, then it was Bar-Aloof. After he shot, Feeney was kind of ran into him. It's kind of like running into the kicker. He ran into him afterwards, and they're going to call that foul every time, especially if you hit the deck.
Aloof hits the 2 free throws, you know. Just to point out, great coaching there by Coach Twomey, you know. Maybe he'd be a little bit upset at the player, but no hard feelings there. Gives Feeney a nice pat on the back, and he'll be back out there later for sure. Here's Graham to Monahan. You know, it's going to be the junior leaders for the Rams who are going to need to be able to will this game back to being a game, as that lead was up to 15 until Beeson cut it to 13. Here's Halpert to Katz. You know, again, sloppy play there. I was not going to say again a sloppy play. Goes in for the jam, and he misses the layup. A questionable decision there by Beeson, as the 2 points were waiting for him at the hoop, and he wanted some style points. Hold for 3 on the other end, good. A huge 5-point swing there, as the Max lead is up to 16 after a sloppy play by Katz on the offensive end. I'm not sure what the huss and the fuss is about here. No timeout.
And it looks like Beeson may have pulled his hamstring on that dunk, overextended himself as he went up, thought he wanted to dunk it, laid it up, and once in a while that may happen when you stretch his hamstring a little bit. He's quickly being visited by the trainers.
Halper with a steal going the other way again. Another turnover there. It's a great thing I have a color commentator there. I did not see him get injured. You know, Vince Scully could do it alone for a bunch of years, but I am not Vince Scully. Here's Bar-Aloof who has the ball. The offense for the Max is clicking on all cylinders here. With 2:30 to go, Cats inside to Leifer, who has only one guy on him. Pump fake, beautiful footwork, and one! Gabe Leifer, dominant inside. Nobody in the match, and I think that'd be... Oh, excuse me. Oh, no, I was right. Looked like the ref was calling a 3-second call. I didn't want to get too excited about nothing. But no, I was right. It was a foul on maybe number 13, George Riefenstahl, which is why it looked like it was a 3-second call. You know, Coach Elliot Steinmetz, not enough words to say what he's done with this program. And again, one of my biggest fans is his brother Jonah. And he's got a nephew, Shmuel Steinmetz, watching past his bedtime. What a... You know, the legacy is there for the Steinmetz family, and Coach Steinmetz has got to be happy here. With 2:10 to go, Monahan another three, and this one's good. It's Liam Monahan coming off the bench and knocking down a three. The senior guard who's been through it all. He does not want to end his career here, and hold out to life for the Cats. The offense has just looked so methodical running plays. You know, it looks simple from a fan's perspective, but there's a lot more going on. Every day at 12 o'clock, there's a shoot-around. During my lunch break, I get to watch it. And there's a lot going into these offensive plays, besides for the 6 a.m. practices. Leifer dominating inside, misses. Offensive rebound, 2 guys on him, keeps going at it. Maybe could have looked to kick out, but the call goes to the Max anyway. And Gabe Leifer is doing it all himself. And, you know, George Riefenstahl, I don't want to call out anyone, but George Riefenstahl's got to start getting those boards inside. 1:35 to go here. Pulled out to Aloof. Max retained possession. Already 39 points. And threatening Hode. Get those puppies in order. It's Tyler Hode, and it's a 19-point lead. A beautiful pass there leads to a wide open three, and this game is a little bit out of hand for the Rams early. Here's Monahan once again. Coming off that three, around to Riefenstahl. Has been extremely quiet, and that is going to be a, not criticizing the officials, but a hand check, touch foul on Donnie Katz. And the Rams will inbound. Only 3 fouls for the Max. That is one of the key things to note. They have played defense without maybe giving up a few too many offensive rebounds, as I'm sure they'll address in the locker room as Halpert comes out for Hode. But the defense without fouling has been huge. And the inbound underneath, only the 3rd team foul. Plenty of fouls to give. Graham inside, a nice floater. Second time he's done that tonight. And it's going to be a 30-second timeout called by Steinmetz. That's Coach Steinmetz to me. 17-point game, 1:03 to go here. And it's what we call the use it or lose it timeout. No need for Steinmetz to use one the first 18 and plus minutes into this half, so we'll use it now. Try to make sure they end this half on a positive note.
Interestingly enough, the Rams this season, right now the score 42-25. The Rams have scored under 25 in the first half only 3 times this season, and this has definitely been a struggle for them on the offensive end, and they're getting good looks. They've gotten offensive rebounds, they're being aggressive, they've gotten some open shots, but their shooters struggling from the field. As you've seen Mableton go 0 for 4 from the field. You've seen Frazier 1 for 3, Platt 1 for 4. They've been missing shots, and Yeshiva out to an early lead, but they got to make sure they keep the pedal to the metal as the second half is approaching.
First, it will be the last minute of the first half. The Max on offense, already 42 points. As I've mentioned a little too many times, the amount of points they've scored, but your scoreboard doesn't have time on it, so I will tell you that there's 40 seconds left. A great pass inside to Halpert, to Tyler. Back out to Simcha. Simcha is not afraid to shoot from the Skyline logo. And Riefenstahl clears the rebound with 30 seconds, 2-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. And they will settle and hold for one, will the Rams. 42-25, 20 seconds to go here. Rams with possession, try to end this half on a bit of a run to gain some momentum, which they will need here in the second half, down 17. 10 seconds to go here. Some movement. Riefenstahl comes from the high screen. Graham taking it off the dribble. The three is not close to the rim. Here's Aloof, who will heave it. Very close, but no good off the side rim. And it will be go to the half, 42-25. It's the Yeshiva University Maccabees, 42. The Farmingdale State College Rams, 25. There are some things going on here at halftime that we will keep your attention away from, and we will focus on us as we'll put 15 minutes on the clock in the halftime, you know.
Definitely worth mentioning, Jack, in the first half, Yeshiva University, great defense. They're averaging 77 points a game, and right now they are on pace for 84, but great defense we've seen through the first half. And when we return, the second half, Yeshiva University Maccabees versus the Farmingdale State Rams after these quick messages.
And we're back here in Farmingdale, New York, a special Max Live edition of a road playoff game. I'm Jack Gantrow alongside Simi Warso, and what a first half it was for the Max. 42-25. Yeshiva leads Farmingdale on the road here. It's the number 4 seeded Max taking on the number 1 seed and the defending champs, the Farmingdale State Rams. But you know, Simi, it was all Max throughout that first half. We were privileged to get the stats from some of the Farmingdale State very
they're great hosts. They're great hosts. And they gave us a stat, Simi, run us down with some of those stats, some notable things for the fans at home watching.
I just want to point out that the Macs have done a great job on the defensive end, as it's pretty obvious. As I mentioned earlier, right before halftime, the Rams have been held under 25 points in the first half only twice this season. This is the third time, and Yeshiva has done a great job. And here's the problem. When you have a balanced scoring like the Rams do, some games no one shows out. Sometimes no one's picking up the slack, and they've not been able to connect on their mid-range shots, and that's been really hurting them. The Rams have grabbed many offensive rebounds, to be exact, 5. And that's way too many. Yeshiva has to do a better job blocking out, not allowing second chances. But the Rams also have to do a better job capitalizing off their misses. And the Rams struggled in the first half from the field, 10 for 28 from the field, 35%, while Yeshiva shot 50% from the field, 50% from 3. And as you mentioned earlier, that's a recipe for success. You shoot 50% from the field, you're going to win most of your games. And Yeshiva has done a great job. Another thing worth realizing, Yeshiva 10 assists in the first half, out assisting Farmingdale by 4. Farmingdale only with 6 assists, and moving the ball has been a slight issue for Yeshiva. When you have good scorers, sometimes passing is a secondary thing, and tonight they've done a great job moving the ball, and that's led to multiple open looks from 3. They've been able to knock down 7 threes on only 14 chances, and you like the offensive job that they've done, and they've done a great job on the defensive end. They just need to keep up the intensity on the defensive end, and they will have a successful second half.
Yeah, you know, one thing to note from the stats is that the Macs have 0 bench points. Something to keep an eye on as the second half wears down. It's 5 guys that have scored for the Macs, and we said it at the top of the broadcast. It's a team that relies on the top of their scoring leaders, and that's exactly what's happened today. You know, 1:20 left until the second half will begin. And one thing we gotta shout out to the fans is we do it for you. You know, it's great to know sometimes that there are people watching. We have guys watching from Cleveland. We have Phil from Philly driving down from Philadelphia. So all across the United States, we have guys watching. Also, my family. I thank God 4 grandparents watching this game, all the way down in Boynton Beach, Florida, all the way up to New York City, Manhattan, on the east side. So a lot of great fans watching. We can't give you the exact numbers, but the Mac Nation is really alive, and it's a testament to the job that Coach Elliot Steinmetz has done.
This team, Yeshiva Maccabees, bright future ahead of them. A lot of young players. Only 2 seniors this year, Ellie Mammon and Ethan Gibsman. And these guys have had great leadership. Mammon was injured through the first half of the season, did not even play, but he was at every practice. He was at every game. And he and Gibsman both did a great job of helping these younger players, mentoring them. And you see in the huddle right now even, the coaches are not in the huddle. It's Bar Aloof leading the huddle. And that's what you like to see from a young team. And you know next year they're going to come back with their core group of guys. Maybe they'll get a couple new guys. Who knows? And as the second half gets underway, Yeshiva in great position to make the Skyline Championship game.
Something that the program has never done before, but we'll reserve those comments for later in the second half. The Macs going left to right here in the blue uniforms. As I mentioned, something you don't see on Macs Live very often, as they are the jerseys they wear on the road. Here's Aloof with the smaller defender, gets him to jump on the pump fake, and it's Leifer off the back rim. No, but it's Halper with the rebound, and it will reset. The Macs on offense here to start the half with a hefty 17-point lead, but one that I'm sure they are not taking it for granted. Cats back out to Leifer, who gets it to Hode. To Leifer, the same 5 starters on. Leifer draws the double team, and great ball movement here. Aloof knocks that down. Bar Aloof with the tape on his hand has no problems pulling up from long 2s, something the analytics don't like, but Bar Aloof loves. He's a computer science major, but he's not much of a numbers guy on the court. Mableton inside to
Riefenstahl knocks it down. George, you know, he went 2 of 4 in the first half, but they were all in the beginning. Of the half, he really did not do anything, nothing good or bad, as the half wore down, and he's going to have to be a big factor, the reigning first-team All-Skyline.
And definitely the Rams talked about it during halftime. You got to get Riefenstahl going. You want to score more points, you got to work the ball inside out. And right there, they get an early bucket from Riefenstahl, is answered by Leifer. Good to see from the Max, going right back at it.
Gabe Leifer in double-double territory, as he usually is, as those were his 11 points of the game. Montague misses, great box out, but the Rams retain possession as another offensive rebound. Riefenstahl triple teamed. Mableton 0 for 4, and he traveled there. Ali Mableton is struggling here, one of the leaders for the Rams, someone that has really dominated the Max. Well, you know, the Rams have won their last 4 against the Max, sweeping the regular season series the last 2 seasons. But this is the one they really want, a semifinals with a chance to face the winner of Mount St. Vincent Purchase, a game that is going on currently in Purchase, New York, and a moving screen offensive foul called on the Max, and it'll go back to the Rams with the lead up to 19. We're 18 minutes to go in this game, as that foul was on Baralou for those keeping score at home. Here's Graham, the reigning also most outstanding player, and active hands by Hode. But the Rams keep the ball. The three-pointer there, shot with very little confidence, is Tony Feeney, but he knocks it down. He was going for that offensive rebound. Maybe that's his form, but it didn't look like it. But he got it to go anyway. Lead down to 16. Here's Tyler Hode with a Lee Mableton on him. Good play there, but he fumbles it, and a turnover. Here's Feeney back the other way to Mableton, who has an open lane inside, and he's on the board for 2. And the momentum slowly shifting, as it's a quick run there by the Rams.
And Jack, as you just mentioned, the Purchase versus Mount St. Vincent game going on right now. Score Purchase with a 40-31 lead after the first half. And we'll be keeping an eye on that game to see who will be facing the winner of this game.
Aloof, another mid-range 2 is no good, but Katz, hustle, rebound. He has Leifer open, takes it strong to the rim, but good defense there by Riefenstahl. That's one of the adjustments Leifer's gonna have to make. A defender he usually doesn't see, and it's a good foul there by Hode to slow the tempo of this one, as there's momentum shifting for the Rams.
And it's sometimes tough when you get off to an early lead. You're so confident. You got to keep the tempo, as you mentioned. You got to stay calm. Even after a couple buckets from the Rams, Yeshiva needs to keep the ball slow on offense, move the ball, play smart defense.
It starts with the defense, as Monahan bringing it up with a much taller defender on Halper, but he finds an open Feeney who doesn't shoot, draws some defense, gets it out to Graham from long range, off the back of the rim, back of the backboard, and out of bounds. Max basketball.
And you've seen Coach Steinmetz, I noticed right now, mentioning to Tyler Hode, put your hand up, as you've seen on a couple plays. Baraloof missed it on the last play. When you're closing out, you got to keep both hands up, and that can make all the difference right there. The Max get away with one.
Here's Aloof with a man on him, gets it out to Katz to Hode. A low pass there, but Leifer handles it with Riefenstahl, the much bigger defender. Gets some contact and draws the foul. A great play there by Riefenstahl.
By Leifer.
By Leifer on Riefenstahl, excuse me, as that is going to be Riefenstahl's second foul, according to my statistics star, Simi Warsaw. Leifer misses the free throw.
And he's struggled from the line this season so far, shooting 57%. And that's tough, especially he's been getting to the line pretty often. This is his 54th free throw attempt in half a season, but yet he's already struggled mightily from the line, approaching the 55 mark.
Mableton heating up, knocks that one down. The lead down to 12, and this lead is slowly slipping away as you see a little bit of a pressure here from the Rams on defense as they have the momentum. And the Max know from last year these road playoff games can get out of hand fast. Here's Katz with Feeney on him. Posting, toasting, spinning, and gets the layup to go. artwork with the feet from Cats to settle the crowd down. Feeney, who's already knocked one down in this half, to Monahan. Monahan, a little push there. Here's Mableton. Mableton heating up, he can get hot fast. A nice play there inside, and that one is good by Jermaine Frazier, who scored in the first half early. He's been quiet lately, but he gets those two to go in. 15 minutes to go. Lead to 12. The fans are getting a little bit louder. The Ram Nation. Here's Katz in the corner to Baralouf, the Israeli native, to Leifer from long range. Gets the beautiful pass inside as he drew the double team, and Katz is there for the easy two. Those 2 points will go to Katz, but it was all Leifer on that one.
Great vision. The big men for Yeshiva have been able to do a good job from the post. Dump the ball down as a quick score on the other end by Graham with 14:20 left in the second half.
Here's Hode to Halpert, running the offense through Leifer here as he finds Katz, who doesn't shoot, and it's the sim to Halpert. Everyone touching the ball for the Max. That's going to be off Monahan. Shot clock down to 9. As some reserves coming in, it's Platt. And it's Beeson, who we saw pull up with a gimpy hamstring earlier in the half. Good to see he's back out there and ready to go after that missed dunk and hamstring pull. He is back. A little bit confusion here, but it'll be Tyler Hode inbounding from the Orin Rams on the baseline here in the Node Hall Athletic Complex. Aloof from the corner. Always looks like he's pushing it, but that one is true blue with the blue jerseys. It's Bar Aloof, knocks that one down. Not the cleanest form, but it doesn't matter as it counts for 3. A little bit too aggressive there as he was very excited as Bar Aloof, you know, the Israeli native, currently late in his hometown, 3:02 in Israel, but Chaim Korman is watching from Israel. So Bar Aloof, I'm sure some of his family and friends from Israel are watching, but plenty of Israelis watching.
And now that you mentioned that, two of my buddies, Fastman Yeshiva High School alums, Sruli Prero, Donnie Mashiach, watching in the wee hours of the night from Israel as the Macs hope to take home a win tonight.
A nice play there by Graham getting to the rim. The offense is starting to come fast and furious for the Rams, something the Macs are going to have to deal with. Aloof, charge, yes. A charge there called on Aloof, and Beeson a little bit late to get up, but he's okay. And it's going to be a timeout here from Coach Steinmetz. And a 30-second call that is from Coach Steinmetz. 53-40, 13-24 to go. And you know, Simi, it's slipping from the defensive end for the Macs.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Jack. Listen, Farmingdale has scored 15 points in this half so far. Yeshiva has also scored 11, so it's a 15-11, but it does seem like the scoring is coming more easily for the Rams as they've been a little more under control and they've been able to knock down some shots that they had trouble with in the first half. So Yeshiva's got to keep pushing, pedal to the metal. They got to keep hitting their shots, but they got to keep clamping down on the defensive end, and they've had a little trouble through the first 7 minutes. They've already allowed 15 points.
Simi, you're a big numbers guy, but sometimes momentum doesn't show up. Great job there by Michal Bixen on the sweat work on the Skyline logo on the near side here. You know, sometimes momentum doesn't show up in the numbers is what I was going to say. Here's Graham, the most outstanding player, as I've mentioned, in last year's tournament, looking to recapture that magic. Platt driving in on Halpert, good defense, no good. Leifer rebounds as Riefenstahl is nowhere to be found as he is sitting on the bench. I knew that when I said that. That's why it was an easier rebound for Leifer. Here's Halpert trying to draw as many defenders, a smaller lineup here from the Rams, but they're still looking to get the ball away from the hoop, the Macs, and try to get some plays run, some curls. Katz not set there, and he misses that one off to the left and running
are the Rams. Here's Graham. A nice move there. The refs didn't think it was a nice move. They thought it was too many steps, and they called it there, as Hode and Boker will check into the ball game for the Macs, replacing Katz and Aloof.
Well, the Rams have come out in a tighter man defense in this second half, and that's made all the difference. As you saw in the last play, Barlow trying to get position in the post on Miller, and he just was unable to, even though the smaller Miller did a great job of keeping him out of the post. Barlow looks close to the basket and couldn't get it there, and he liked the defense from the Rams so far.
And a jump ball there as Leifer fumbled it. 12:20 to go in this one. And the Macs are clinging to a 13-point lead, playing well enough on offense. The defense is going to need to be a little bit better if they want to close this game out, as the possession arrow flips there, a rule that many do not like, but they're still using it in all divisions of basketball, as the Rams have possession, but the next time it will go to the Macs. And a foul called there, offensive, on Frazier, that is, a moving screen, and it will go back to the Macs.
Well, Simcha Halpert running quickly to guard, tries to run through the screen. Frazier steps over, and Halpert does a good job of selling the foul, and a smart move by Halpert.
Oh, Halpert will inbound here. Max basketball. Here's Hode. Hode. There are two Hodes on the court. Here's Leifer, who takes it very far from the hoop. Riefenstahl is back in. He's leaving Leifer open, who can knock down that long-range shot. Gets it to Hode, back to Leifer. Thinks about it. Gets it to Hode. Hode wants to shoot, but he's going to do what he thinks is best for the team. Shot clock winding down, but they leave Justin open. No good. Strong attempt there by both players, but it's the Rams who come out with it. I said a bad pass. That was a beautiful pass. That was Miller to Platt to Riefenstahl. Give him the double assist on that one if we were playing hockey. And the lead is down to 11. A cheat there by Monahan might come back to bite the Rams. It does not. Here's Halpert. Nails the three. It's Simcha Halpert. You do not want to leave him open. And maybe it was the cheat by Monahan that caused the defensive possession to get away from the Rams. The three-pointer there by Beeson is no good. Riefenstahl and Leifer fighting for it, but it's Tyler who comes up with it. And Simcha Halpert dipsy-doodles his way out of that trouble, and he brings it up now. 10:51 to go here. It's Max 56 and Rams 42 here. Jack Gantrow alongside Simi Warsaw, live from Farmingdale, New York. It was a trek and a half to get here, but so far the Macs have made it worth it. And Simcha traveled on that one, probably not as long as our travel, but either way, it will be Rams basketball.
You see George Riefenstahl struggling to close out on the shooters. He's missed a couple of assignments. You know, he's a player who's used to playing close to the basket on defense, and most teams in this Skyline Conference don't have 5 shooters on the court, ever. And Yeshiva almost always has 5 shooters on the court. Almost all of their players are looking to launch from downtown. And the only rotation player who really doesn't take threes is Kevin Boker. He's been more of a post player for them this season, but really everyone else has been willing to let it fly from deep. And Yeshiva has 8 players who have attempted 43s this year, and that's a lot. That's a lot of different players who can knock down shots. And 10:30 left in the second half. And quickly update you on the Purchase Mount St. Vincent game. Purchase 46, Mount St. Vincent 37. 15 minutes left in the second half there, so we'll be keeping an eye on that game.
And you know, nothing like, I don't want to jump the gun, but a Yeshiva Purchase. Wow, I'm not going to say anything yet. Monahan has it now for the Rams. Bring it up with Aloof on him. Here's Mableton, who showed glimpses of scoring ability at the end of his last stint on the court, and he continues right where he left off. And that's Mableton from the mid-range, somewhere he's not afraid to shoot from. and the lead is down to 12. Here's Leifer. Approaching 10 minutes left in this game. It's the Macs who have led the majority of it, and Hode for three, no good. He's been just a little bit off. A couple of shots off the rim, and the difference on those. Here's Monahan quietly leading this offense, and as I say that, a bad pass. 3-on-2 come the Macs to Loof. He'll slow it down. He has Halpert open. Not so happy he didn't get the ball. Hode again for three, not afraid, again off the rim. Leifer open, strong to the rim, coming up gimpy, but he gets the two and add the rebound to his stat sheet.
It looked like he got kicked in the leg right there, and he's coming up hobbling a little bit, and that's going to be interesting as a quick steal by Halpert.
Going the other way, you know, Gabe Leifer not coming up the court. We'll see if they stop it. They don't. Aloof, no good. You know, I'm not really afraid to talk about Gabe Leifer. I know his whole family is in attendance, so they're here if anything happens to him. The three-pointer there by Platt is good, and I would expect a whistle here as Gabe Leifer is not really moving. He is hobbling up the court, so we will play on. 11-point game. It's Platt with a big shot. Here's Boker to Justin Hode, who's missed a bunch of shots, but he's not afraid. He can score with the best of them. Inside to Halpert, fading, gets the contact, and he will draw the foul and shoot two. That will go against Anthony Miller Jr.
And you saw in the last couple possessions, Yeshiva shooting a three from the corner, and then the Rams shooting a three from the corner. For those who don't know, in the Max Stern Athletic Center, Yeshiva's home, they actually have a bar coming down from the ceiling, and that affects three-point shots from the corner. As you see Justin Hode, his shot often has a lot of an arc, but he changes it up a little bit when he's shooting from the corner. Even in this gym, where there's no white bar coming down from the top, his adjustment, you know, changed his shot up a little bit, while Platt, used to shooting from the corner, knocks one down from the three-point range.
Yeah, you know, I actually tied up those laces yesterday, played some pickup basketball, and you know, I'm not known for my three-point shooting, but I was hitting those bars a lot, and that definitely affects even the most amateur basketball players shooting from the corners in the Max Stern Athletic Center. Here are the Rams back on offense. Down 13. It's going to be their stars that are going to need to show up. Maybe a great pass inside there. Excuse me, that was not Mableton who made that pass. That was Chaz Platt, who's been a spark off the bench, who found Riefenstahl to cut the lead to 11. A little bit of pressure by Graham. Tyler O draws a double, gets hit in the head, no call. Loose basketball. And a 10-second call against the Macs. A turnover going back to the Rams. And Coach Elliott Simons is talking to Bar Aloof about maybe helping out Tyler there as he was all alone on an island. 8:10 to go here. It's 60-49 Yeshiva.
Good recognition by the Rams to notice only one guy in the backcourt, and they just took advantage right there and got the turnover.
Holding steady in double-digit lead are the Macs. Here's Graham. Long two, no good. That's going to be off of the Macs. A hustle play there by Feeney. And Simcha Halpert will come back into the game, placing Justin Hode. 8 minutes and 1 second to go here in this semifinal basketball game. Again, Jack Ganstra alongside Simi Warsaw, live from Farmingdale, New York, where the one-seeded and defending champs Rams are on the ropes against the Yeshiva University Maccabees, seated at the 4 seed. And Feeney will go to the line for two. For those that aren't the biggest Maccabees fans, should note Gabe Leifer, a key import in January, has really turned around the season, and that is why the Macs are where they are. Not the only reason, but a key factor.
Jack, I mentioned earlier on the Yeshiva has been plagued by some injuries. If you note on the bench, Tal Guetta, one of their starters, has gone down with a broken wrist in their double overtime game against Farmingdale State last week. And Mike Hayone, also one of their big men, the junior, has also gone down for the season with an injury. Tyler Hode's been plagued with some foot injuries. Bar Lucen plays with a finger injury. So they've been a little bit banged up, but this Yeshiva team has been playing very well, even so.
Feeney frustrated there as he gets 1 of 2. Lead is down to 10 here, 60-50. Under 8 minutes to go in the semifinals. Max lead. Gabe Leifer sitting on the bench here. We'll see if he'll return, as that was tipped, and it will stay. Max basketball. I can only imagine the viewership of this game has been steadily rising, as it's been a thriller. Winner takes on Purchase or Mount St. Vincent on either Saturday or Sunday. A lot of variables happening here. If the Macs win, I actually spoke to the commissioner this week. Great relationship. She told me it'll either be at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock on Sunday due to the selection show for D3 on Sunday evening. Here's Katz from long range. In and out. And Femi brings up the ball. Gets it up ahead. A nice bounce pass to Graham for 2, and the lead is down 2-8. Steinman's out of his chair. We'll see where he goes here. If Leifer can come back, he's standing around. Here's Aloof to Katz. Riefenstahl on him, a much bigger defender, standing at 6'8". Here's Simcha trying to do it on his own to Katz. They double team and leave Halpert open, questionable. Very aggressive defense. Someone's got to be open. And the hustle play there, knocking the ropes down on the sidelines, is Graham, who's played great. And the referee giving a little bit of a warning to the bench of the Farmingdale Rams. Just a little too much energy. And never a bad thing.
I've been keeping an eye on their bench early on in the first half also. Getting a little bit excited after made buckets. Some players even maybe putting a foot on the court, and that's a close call. You know, they sometimes refs get a little strict and maybe call a technical on the bench and give them a quick warning.
Halbert from long range and fading away is no good. And here come the Rams. The lead has dwindled. Mableton, with no regard for human life, lays it up and one, taking it all alone. On that one, the speed as he put the Jets on, and the lead is down to 6. And like most basketball games, a game of runs, and right now it's the Rams who are running free with the lead with 6:38 to go. It's Max 60 and the Rams 54.
Well, you saw Dining Cats a couple possessions ago on the fast break, decided not to contest, and we've seen him take multiple charges this season, and he's been really good getting in the way and taking the charge. He really averages 2 charges per game, if I may say, but tonight he hasn't taken any, and I thought that would be one of them, that he would step over there, but he didn't contest. On this last play, he actually did get his hand up, but got it up a little too late, and they had to call the foul on him, and a 6-point lead with 6.5 left to go. Yeshiva with 6 fouls, and they do have to be careful not to get into the bonus, as always in these playoff games, free throw shooting is very important. And Yeshiva, their free throw percentage as a team, 70%. Farmingdale from the line this season, 71%. So both teams are doing okay from the line, but it may come down to who's going to hit the free throws. And as we see at the line right now is
Ali Mableton. Sounded like it was a voice message recording there, but I am here in the flesh. Mableton, after that beautiful layup, misses. And the Macs retain possession. To note for the fans at home, Gabe Leifer back in the ball game. 6:30 to go here. Couldn't have asked for a better atmosphere, a better game here in Farmingdale, New York for this road special edition of Max Live Basketball. Hode open for 3, decides better of it, gets it to Leifer to Katz, who also thinks better, but that's gonna be a foul on Riefenstahl. I used to do a drill bag at home, the machine gun with the feet. He did not do a good job moving his feet there left to right. And that's going to be his 3rd foul on the all-conference from 2016-17. George Riefenstahl. Here's Hode. Inbounds it to Aloof. 6:13 to go. A special number in the hearts of Max fans. A lot of tips, and it's going the other way off Hode. Off of Tyler Hode. It was tipped, and Monahan with a hustle play as Mableton checks back into the game. You're wondering if they're doing a little offense, defense here. Only 2 fouls from Mableton. Not a lot of fouls in this game. Well played for both teams. The shots have been going in. The defense has been there. Everything you can ask for from a semifinals game here, as these teams met just 9 days ago in this exact same place, and it went to double overtime. Mableton inside the Riefenstahl, who overthought that shot a little bit, it looked like, and it in and out from very short range. Hope he doesn't lose sleep about that one, as that's one Riefenstahl hits with ease. Halper coming off the curl, doesn't shoot. A lot of pump fakes from the Macs, wondering if they're hesitating here as this lead has slowly dwindled. Cats, a nice pass to Leifer, who has a smaller defender on him, and one! A weak foul there by Graham, and Leifer off the bench after a short rest does not show any signs of rust as he lays that one up and in.
And Platt very upset with the refs. Wanted the travel call. Great find by Donnie Katz, and he's had a couple of very noteworthy assists this season, but just a very smart play. Find the mismatch, and I thought I heard Leifer yell, "Mouse in the house." I'm not sure if you heard it, but he got him down there and got the N1.
Lead up to 9, it's Mableton. Floater pure, elite Mableton. The story of the second half These last 5 minutes, he's been on fire. 7-point game, 5:12 to go. It's Baraloof, who finds Leifer very far from the hoop to Katz. Katz has been standing there and working his magic as a big man who can pass. And a foul there on Chaz Platt, as maybe to use your terminology, from in the name of Gabe Leifer, another mouse in the house there. And they're going to go to the bigger player, the sophomore, Troy Feeney, who has played big minutes, ups and downs in this game. I'm sure he's aware of them, because he's the one playing. Here's Tyler Road inbounding it to Aloof. Aloof hasn't shot it recently after he made a 3 here in the near corner. To Halpert with Mableton on him. It's going to be the passing of the Max as Gabe, can he draw the double? Riefenstahl doesn't commit to him. Halpert pulls up, not even close, but Leifer with a strong board, and they're going to call another foul. And that's what you call a hustle play, as Gabe Leifer with a strong rebound. He looks a little bit hobbled. Feeney slow to get up as well. We'll see what happens, as that one would go on Feeney, and Gabe Leifer just owning the glass here with triple fours on the clock. 4:44 to go. It will be a 1-and-1 for Leifer if he can take them. Thinking about those great offensive rebounds that he has. The double-double for Leifer. You know, Yeshiva University has great live stats. So does Farmingdale. And he has 16 and 11 thanks to those stats done by the Rams. Rams Nation.
Leifer came up a little gimpy. Looked like he was holding his knee. Never a good sign, but you know, you like the box out by Frazier. He did a good job clearing out. Leifer still reached up, grabbed the board, and great hustle on the offensive glass by him as he misses the second free throw. 4:40 left in the second half.
Here's Mableton. He's been scoring, and he's had help from Riefenstahl on a reach and foul. And that's going to go on Tyler Hode, number 44. You know, I get to spend a lot of time in the mornings with Tyler Hode, and he likes cookies. And on that one, it looked like he was reaching into the jar. And that was Riefenstahl, who will go to the line for a 1 and the bonus. I believe it was on the ground. Either way, he doesn't want me to be wrong on that call, so he knocks it down regardless. 7-point game, 4:34 to go. Time winding down. It's a very large gymnasium here in Farmingdale, which is why the fans are not as much of a factor as you'd think. The rebound there hits almost 6 players, but Katz comes down with it. And the Macs will take the ball on offense. The offense has came slower in the second half here, but it's going to have to be the passing of the Macs that gets them open looks. Here's Hode. Gets by Mableton to the rim. 4 Ram defenders. There should be guys open. Leifer short arms the layup, but Katz is there. He can't get it to go, and it will be the Rams who will push it the other way. No hesitation there as a couple of bunnies do not fall. Here's Riefenstahl. Gets it very close to the hoop. And 1. Riefenstahl. The foul is going to go against Katz, and the lead is down to 5. Under 4 to go. 3:59, and Riefenstahl has a chance to make this only a 4-point ball game.
Yeshiva running the same offense they've been running in the first half, just this time they can't get. A couple bunnies missed. Leifer missed one at the basket. Then Katz missed one at the basket, but they're getting good looks. Tyler Ho breaking down the defense, kicking the ball out, but they couldn't connect on the easy bucket, and Riefenstahl gets inside, draws the foul, gets the and-one.
The free throw by Riefenstahl, strong off the back iron, no good. And it will be the Macs again on offense, needing something here as the lead has slowly dwindled. It was as much as, I believe, 17. You can fact check me at home on that one. With 3:45 to go, the pass not tipped, or the refs don't think it was tipped, which is all that matters, is Halper passed it looking for Leifer, and no ref saw it. Questionable. 3:43 to go. Timeout. Coach Twomey from the Farmingdale State Rams. Again, Jack Gantra alongside Simi Warsaw for those just tuning in here. 8:26 local time. It's 64-59 Yeshiva leading the Rams of Farmingdale State. We are here live in Farmingdale, New York with 3:43 to go. The semifinals of the Skyline Conference Tournament. It's the one-seeded Rams, the defending champs. They have gone 10-0 at home in the conference this year, and the Macs have had them on the ropes all game long. Simi, this is all we could have asked for.
Yes, and their Rams are in good position right now. If you're them, you got to be happy, Coach. Looking down by 5. They were down by a lot more earlier in the game, and it's good to see this lead is close enough where they can handle it. Yeshiva just got to keep playing their game. They were playing very well in the first half. Their defense right now has really slowed down. They've allowed 34 points with still 3:40 left. And as you saw, Riefenstahl missing a couple of free throws. He shot 79% until tonight from the line and misses a couple of easy ones, as I mentioned. You never know. Those might come back to bite them. And a quick update from the Purchase Mountain Vince the game. We got a close one, 54-53, 6 minutes left in the second half, as that game is going to come down to the wire. And
the Dolphins making a push on the road, Mount St. Vincent. But we'll cross that bridge as we get there as a Max Live staff. Right now, it's the Rams and Maccabees. Under 4 to go. It's Graham bringing it up, the most outstanding player in last year's playoffs, trying to recapture the magic, as I said. Mableton gets to the rim, strong defense, but he gets it to go anyway. Nothing the Macs could have done on that one aside for letting him get to the rim. And it's a 3-point lead with 3:25 to go. Bar Aloof has been quiet of late with Graham on him. Gets it to Boker to Hode. Here's Aloof trying to get to the rim with a beautiful feed to Boker, who gets the layup to go. Bar Aloof with the beautiful dime on that one. As he gets the lead back up to 5 is Boker. And the Rams will try to score again. They're getting to the rim at will, but that was good defense. Here's Leifer bringing it up himself. He can do that. Gets it to Boker. To Aloof, to a wide open Tyler O with a defender coming. Thought better of that shot as the defender, Chaz Platt, was on his tail. Here's Aloof. Aloof. Back.
And there's no need for the Yeshiva to rush the ball. Good pull-up by Boker. Smart play.
Aloof gets to the rim, no good. Riefenstahl grabs the rebound here. We have 2:30 to go. It's Rams down 5 at home. Here's Graham. Bring it up, gets it to the corner. A few of the bench players here playing in crunch time for the Rams. Interesting, and that's going to be a foul on Aloof. And it will send the Rams to the line for a 1 and the bonus as Femi comes into the ball game.
And that's the 4th foul on Bar Aloof. He's getting into foul trouble, and that was a hand check right there, but definitely important for Yeshiva to keep the Rams out of the lane, as once they penetrate, they've been able to get easy looks, which is something that they just didn't have in the first half. And Yeshiva's got to slow the ball down on the offensive end, run their half-court offense.
Monahan misses the front end of the 1-and-1. You don't want to play a prevent offense because, as I've always been taught, it prevents you from winning the ball game. Here's Leifer playing a little point guard, something we haven't seen early. To Simcha Halper from wide open, long range, no good. Riefenstahl clears and the Rams will run. Running and gunning, it's Monahan. Boker gets ran into and it's an offensive foul. Simcha Halper thought the foul was going the other way, but he was happy with that call as it's a
A control foul. Kevin Boker steps in there, the hustle play off the bench, 1:51 to go. Yeshiva hanging on to this lead, which they've held on to the entire second half. A tough inbounds pass there as the Rams putting some pressure. Gets it a Lifer up, and now is a time where you will be wise to slow it down. Here's Aloof playing tight defense as Monahan. 100 seconds to go in the semifinals. Max up by 5 in a position they would have dreamed to be in for years. Never to the Skyline Championships has this program been. A sloppy pass there. Hode gets whacked in the face, but it's going to be a reach-in foul. I do not believe we have a monitor to look at that. And it will be going the other way, and that's a foul that will lead to a 2 shots as they are in the double bonus. And that was a good call there by the refs as the ball was hopping around for both teams to get it, and it was Platt who will go to the line for 2.
And you see Kevin Boker, past couple plays, Johnny on the spot. Gets a nice look on the inside, puts it in, and then a great defensive play, take the charge, and that's why he's in the game right now. He's getting big minutes for his basketball IQ, being the man in the right place, and a great job so far tonight from him.
The Rams have struggled mightily from the free throw line. Before that Platt made free throw, they were shooting an abysmal 36%, 4 of 11 from the line, but Platt hits that one. 1:28 to go here in the beautiful Farmingdale State College gymnasium. 2 for 2 is Platt, and the Rams will pressure here with 1:28 to go. A 3-point game. The Yeshiva Max have led the entire second half, but this is the closest the Rams have gotten. Here's Simcha Halpert, Mr. Reliable this season, to Aloof, who's played a very good game on both ends, hasn't scored of late, with the defender draped all over him. Here's Tyler Hode, a tight man-to-man defense that the Rams playing right now, with Graham on bar. To Hode, who just picked up a foul in the last session, to Lifer, wide open from the NCAA logo, knocks it down! Gabe Lifer and a timeout by the Maccabees. The lead doubled. Lifer showing no signs of an injury he showed earlier, and Gabe Lifer has taken this lead to 6. 69-63, 1:03 to go, and the Maccabees are tasting it here in Farmingdale State. But you know, these Rams, as I've mentioned, defending champs, the #1 seed, 10-0, beating every single team in the conference at home this season. The past 2 seasons, they have only lost 1 conference home game. They are not going to give up now, as this is the chance to host the Skyline Conference Championship game, a place the Macs have never been in their history. Coach Elias Steinmetz, in his 4th season, you know, I was looking at some of the win totals, Simi, the last few years. The year before Coach Steinmetz got there, the 2013-2014 season, my last year in high school, the Macs won 5 conference games. They've won double digits every year since Elliot Steinmetz took over. 11, 12, 11. This year, 13, with a chance to win the most games in school history tonight. It would be win number 16, including non-conference and playoffs. And it starts on the defensive end for the Macs. 63 seconds to go, a 6-point lead. And it will be the Rams who have possession here after Coach Steinmetz called the timeout.
I'll tell you something, Jack. Max got to take care of the ball in this last minute. That's going to be the most important thing. They got to take care of the ball. They're going to be fouled, and they got to knock down free throws. If they can do that, they have this game. They start missing free throws. They start giving a couple turnovers, bad passes. That's going to be an issue for them.
As a TABC basketball fan, I've seen my share of basketball collapses. Graham from long range, no good. Riefenstahl, strong and 1! George Riefenstahl getting to that rebound. No one boxed him out, came flying in from the top of the key, and he'll have a chance to cut the lead to 1 possession. Riefenstahl, we've talked about him all night long. He's got a double-double, plenty of rebounds tonight. His 16th on that one, and he has a chance to cut the lead to 3 with 55 seconds to go. He has struggled from the line, 1 of 3, and that one is good. So he completes the old-fashioned 3-point play. The press is on from the Rams in the full court man-to-man. 54 seconds to go. 3-point game. Coach Twomey clapping his Rams on from the sideline. Here's Aloof to Tyler Hode. Very high pressure from the Rams.
which is a little bit surprising considering they have chances. Leifer open for three, pump fakes, gets it to Halpert. A little bit of a tough spacing job from the Max here as 33 seconds. Leifer from long range, way short. Ode with only 5 seconds on the shot clock. Does he see it? Aloof gets hit, no call, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. No, the Rams will play on. 21 seconds to go here, and it's a timeout, Twomey. You know, interesting thing to note, Simi, is that when I've watched college basketball in my day, I've seen a lot of games. Usually the offense does not call a timeout. It gets a chance for the defense to settle in, but Coach Twomey, he knows better than me. He has 5 more years of experience at Farmingdale State, and I trust him if I'm a Rams fan. But 20.6 seconds, the Rams will try to draw something up, and it'll be Coach Twomey. Simi, what do you got for me as the commentator?
Well, oftentimes coaches don't call a timeout when there's less than 10 seconds left. Then the pace is moving quickly. When there's 20 seconds left, either way you're giving time for the defense to set up because they're going to want to look at a last-second shot. Maybe they'll go 2 for 1, but they have to talk it over. They're not sure. There's one side to say maybe they'll go for a 2 and then quickly and then try to foul or get a steal. Maybe they're looking for a 3. They haven't been shooting the ball well tonight from three-point range, and I think they're going to go for a quick bucket, and Yeshiva's got to make sure they block out, and they have not done it so well tonight, and they really have to be smart. They see somebody coming down the lane, even if he's not your man, you got to box him out. You got to keep him out of the paint, and the main man you got to keep your eye out for, you can't leave George Riefenstahl. You can't let him crash the boards. He's crashing the boards, you got yourselves a problem. So right now, you got to focus on smart defense. Do not foul because that's going to send him to the line. They're in the double bonus. They're going to be shooting 2. Yeshiva has to make sure they don't give up anything easy, no second chance points, and then take care of the ball in the offensive end.
The Rams will inbound it from a little bit, 3/4 court on offense. It's Mableton on the inbound, gets it to Graham. 19 seconds to go here. Max up 3. They get the 3 they like from Monahan, and it's good! Leon Monahan, the senior, the one senior for the Rams, comes up huge, 10 seconds to go. Fans on their feet here in Farmingdale. Tyler Ode with 5 seconds to go. It's Aloof. See what they can get here. 3. Aloof, a long shot off the backboard, no good. And we will go to overtime. With a 6-point lead with under a minute to go, the Rams come back. I will not show any signs of disappointment because there's nothing more I can look forward to than 5 more minutes of this exciting basketball. You know, these teams played double overtime last time, Simi, and it looks like we're going to be in here for the long haul, as it's 69-69. Going to overtime here in the semis, and you know, it was Leon Monahan, the senior, coming off the screen who knocked down the big one.
Well, Monahan got the open look. Great confidence from him. They have not even had a lead since way in the beginning of the game, and right there he steps up. I thought they were actually going to call a foul on that one. He was hit, knocks down the 3 calmly, and you see what happens. Yeshiva unable to call a timeout, and it came back to bite them. Baraloof had to fight off a tough shot, not what you were looking for, and oftentimes, you know, people trying to be the hero, trying to hit the game winner. He had an okay look, but he forced it up early on. They still had a couple seconds left, not what you wanted, and they left the door open. They shouldn't have left the door open. They should have looked for an easy shot, set up their offense. They didn't even cross the 3-point line on the offensive end. They had 8 seconds left. They had time, but they did not get off a shot that they wanted, and you could see the dismay from the coaches at the offense from Yeshiva.
You know, one thing that's a hot topic around college basketball is should you foul up by 3, something that you've seen numerous coaches do throughout the nation. Thankful to my good friend Delon Katz watching from Canada, Toronto, pointed that out to me. And maybe they should have fouled. It's something that no one will remember if the Max can hold here. But we go to overtime. 5 minutes on the clock. It's the Rams in white, the Max in blue, the #1 seed and defending champs. We're on the ropes the whole second half, led for 0 seconds in the half. We're only tied for 3 seconds, and here's Riefenstahl drawing the double. Finds an open Graham, wide open for 3 off the back rim. No, he struggled, and Leifer clears. Very bad boxing out, if I may say, from the Max, but Leifer was there to save the day. Max have struggled on offense, getting looks. That's really been the problem, and we'll see if they can do a better job here in overtime. It's a whole new ball game if you're just tuning in now. We are live here in Farmingdale, New York.
Jack Gancho alongside Simi Warsaw. Donnie Katz for 3, no good. And it's going to be a foul here against number 24. It's Tony Femi who grabbed Gabe. He's done that a couple of times tonight. He's got called for it. The refs have done a great job. And it's his 4th foul. Excuse me. If the Femis are watching at home, it's Troy and not Tony. That's my bad. The T at the beginning and the Y at the end a little bit confused me. 4:19 to go. Leifer, who has struggled from the line this season, but he knocked down a few last time. It's only a 1-and-1, as that was only the 19th foul, and he misses the front end, leaving points on the board. We will see if those come back to haunt them. Here's Graham, a clutch player. That's going to be a foul on Leifer, as he was not in good position, and it'll send Graham to the line for 2. He struggled mightily from outside, 1 of 6. So it is good to see him getting to the basket as a Rams side of view.
As I mentioned earlier, free throw is going to play a big part of this game. Remember, Riefenstahl missed a couple free throws. If he would have hit those, this game would be over already. Leifer has missed a few tonight, and that has been a slight issue for them. He's 3 for 8 from the free throw line, and that's a problem.
The first lead of the second half / overtime. The Rams 71-69. We're 1 minute into overtime, 4 to go in the game. A very aggressive Rams defense has clamped down on the Max lately. Simcha Halper gets hit on the 3. A late call, extremely late, even though it looked pretty clear from here. The referee right on the back of the shooter did not call it, but the ref, thankfully for the Max, under the hoop made that call. They are talking, wondering what they are saying here, as it looked like it was a clear foul. And you can't really blame the Rams. Simcha Halpert is a lights-out shooter. You don't want to give him anything, and I'm sure I've actually heard Coach Twomey talking about it throughout this game, as Mableton will check back into the game, offense for defense. The fans of the Rams are allowed for these free throws. We'll see if Halpert can deal with it. In and out and back in. And the lead is cut in half, 71-70. 3:55 on the clock. We're here live in Farmingdale, New York, a special edition of Max Basketball on the road. Simcha Halper knocks the second one of 3 down. Both teams are now in the bonus, double bonus that is. Tie games, Halpert with a chance to send the Max back ahead after a brief lead that the Rams held.
And Coach Rithold's on the bench trying to get his guys pumped up. As you've seen the Rams bench loud, and now you hear the Max bench a little louder. And it's good to hear, from your bench, these guys, if they're hyped up, it gets the players hyped up, and they really need that right now.
Here's Mableton with a head of steam. It's tough to stop. A great pass there, but it's tipped and stolen away by Leifer. Heads up defense. Max the other way. We'll see if they decide to push, as the offense has stalled, in my opinion. Leifer has an open lane to the hoop, but he finds an open hold. Swings it the extra pass to Halpert. To Aloof, pumps, gets Riefenstahl away. The mid-range 2 is good. Bar Aloof lead up to 3 with 3:30 to go, a little bit under. Rams back on offense. Graham and Mableton, the 2 guys getting to the rim for the Rams. Into the corner, it's Platt, who's hit the 3 tonight. Back out to Graham. Graham, as I've mentioned, the MOP, most outstanding player in last year's tournament. Mableton doesn't like to shoot from outside. Hit. And it's going to be a foul there, I believe, on Leifer, and it will be 2 shots. Gabe Leifer a little over-aggressive there, trying to get the steal. And it will be Ali Mableton going to the line for 2.
And a quick update, Purchase with a 3-point lead over Mount St. Vincent with 19 seconds left. A very close game as well, as the winner of this will play the winner of that game.
Location to be determined. But if Farmingdale takes care of business here, they will host the Skyline Championship on Saturday, only 2 days away. And if this game keeps going, Mableton knocks that one down. Checking into the ball game is Troy, not Tony Femi. Offense, defense, Mableton, Femi. They've been doing it all night if you've been keeping stats at home. Here's Halpert underneath. The full court man-to-man. The defense has helped for the Rams when they've switched into it. Back to Halpert. Close to and out of bounds, but he reestablished just in time. Here's Aloof. 1-point game, exactly 3 to go. 3 minutes left. If you're just joining us, we're in overtime. A wild pass by Katz, and it's a turnover. Here come the Rams, going up strong. Close to the sloppy pass there, almost a backcourt. Monahan hit a clutch 3-pointer as with under 5 seconds to go as the Rams tied it as they were down the whole second half. It was the Max who had the lead the majority of this game, but they let it slip away. But they get a chance here in overtime. Here's Graham
A lot of defenders on him. Who can pull it inside? It's going to be a foul over here, staying here. It's going to be a foul on Yeshiva, and that's going to be 5 on Aloof as he will go to the bench, ending the game for him with 16 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. A good performance there, and a 1-point game with a chance to take the lead out of the Rams. I'm not sure what they're discussing, even though I believe there's a 20-second timeout after a guy fouls out, but maybe the home team, the team that decided to foul, didn't want to take it. And
a theme we've been mentioning throughout the game, Yeshiva has not been able to clear out. Another offensive rebound forces Bar Aloof to foul out, and you really have to clear out. You really have to. There's no way to get rebounds if you're not going to be boxing out.
Missed the first free throw as Femi, something they've struggled with all night, the Rams. Surprising from a first-place team like themselves. Femi, the second one, is good. A tie ball game here, 74-74. We're in overtime. Jermaine Frazier checking into the ball game. Max basketball, 2:30 to go. We're halfway through the overtime period. These teams met 9 days ago and they went to double overtime. If not more excitement, as much excitement here tonight. Here's Hode to Hode with Jordan Hode watching in the stands. Simcha Halpert is going to try to take his man one-on-one. He gets it to Katz with the Riefenstahl, the much larger defender, on him. Tries to look inside to Halpert as a wide-open Tyler Hode who shoots for 3. Good! Sorry for the screen, but Tyler Hode knocks down the 3, and the lead is back to 3 with under 2 minutes to go. Tyler Hode with confidence. And the Frisch Cougar Nation has got to feel good about that one, as Tyler Hode puts 3 on the board with under 2 to go. It's Graham. Close to a travel, but nothing called. Riefenstahl back out to Graham. It's been these two, the leaders for this team. Monahan with a big 3 at the end of regulation to Riefenstahl from mid-range. No good. Once again, close range, but George has not been good from there lately as he misses once again, the star for the Rams. Here's Katz, 1:27 to go. 77-74, Max by 3. Katz at the top of the key to Hode. It's Justin driving, has a lane, a beautiful layup there. Lefty can't get it to fall, and the Rams will take it once again. 1:11 to go. Timeout Rams. Last time I questioned Coach Twomey, he proved me wrong as they knocked down a 3 as time expired in regulation with 4 seconds to go to tie the game up after they called the timeout. Here once again he goes to the timeout. 70 seconds to go. 77-74.
And you see Justin Hode, the hero of last game for Yeshiva, taking his strong to the basket. You like the move, but with 15 seconds on the shot clock, not the smartest play. Only a minute 15 left, now a minute 10 left in the game. You got to make sure you milk as much of the clock as you can, especially with a 3-point lead, especially because you're in the double bonus. Any foul is going to be shooting, especially with Bar Aloof fouled out. You got to be smart with your offensive possessions. And even though it was a nice take to the rim, it was a very risky play, as now Rams with the ball down 3 with 1:10 left, and still the clock says 7 seconds left. Purchase with a 70-63 lead. 7 seconds left, up by 7. It seems like it's in the bag for the number 2 seeded Purchase, as we're still waiting to see the final score.
You know, Tyler Hode in the last meeting that went to double overtime on February 13th hit 2 clutch free throws to tie the game and to send it to a second overtime period. And here with the enormous 3-pointer, and which is what the Macs are clinging to. Here's Graham. A foul there on Hode as he let the defender get by him, and that's just not what you want to do, as it'll send the Monahan, the senior, to the line with 66 seconds to go in this game. We are in overtime. We are live in Farmingdale State College, Farmingdale, New York. Jack Gantrow alongside Simi Warsaw and Leon Monahan, who hit a enormous 3 to tie this game with under 5 seconds to go and send it to overtime. Misses the first free throw.
Yeshiva's defense relies on help defense, and as you see right there, Justin Hode slides over, gets the foul called on him. They have to play good help defense. The second free throw up in the air and good. A 2-point lead with a minute 6 left.
Max with 1 minute and 3 seconds to go, up by 2. a thriller here in Farmingdale, New York. Gabe Leifer to Tyler Hode at the top of the key to Simcha Halpert. Inside, aggressive defense, which leads to Hode being open, who finds a wide open Donnie Katz. If he shoots it with confidence, it goes in. That time it didn't, but Tyler Hode with a huge rebound. Tyler Hode coming up big once again. The hustle. It will only go in the box score as one offensive rebound, but it was one enormous one at that. Tyler already hit a big three here. 38.9 seconds to go. It's another timeout by the Macs in overtime of this Skyline semifinal.
Again, a questionable shot right there. Again, 13 seconds left in the shot clock. You don't need to be shooting a three. That's not the look you're looking for. And if I'm Coach Steinmetz right now, I'm telling my guys, take it easy. No need to rush. We got a full shot. Well, shot clock's at 24 right now. 14-second difference. Shot clock to game clock. No need to rush on the offensive end.
Simi, I have a different perspective from you. You know, I'm just the announcer in the booth. They don't pay me to coach. But what about getting a quick shot and a 2-for-1 here? I know they're up 2, but at the end of the day, the Rams are going to get the ball either way. It's going to be interesting to see. You know, I'm gonna side with you, but I'm playing devil advocate. I believe the Macs will look for the best shot, but just something to note in the back of your minds here with Yeshiva. With 14 seconds in between shot clock and game clock here, if they get a quick shot up, they'll still get the ball back regardless of what the Rams do on offense. We'll see what happens here. Max, it's been the 5 starters that have scored the majority of the points aside for a key Kevin Boker layup. Only 2 bench points for the Macs. For the Rams, it's been a lot of bench points, 18 to be exact, as they have relied on a lot of guys. Here's Halpert inbounding it to Hode. It's Tyler Hode and Justin Hode. Here's Tyler with a strong defender and Monahan on him, playing tight defense. Katz with Riefenstahl on him to Hode. They did wait. 10 seconds left. Here's Halpert. Finds an open Leifer, who has 2 guys on him. The spacing, they have a Justin wide open, but Katz shoots an air ball from long range. Tyler Hode tries to save it, and they're going to push. No timeout's going to be called here. 10 seconds to go. It's the Rams. Down 2. Graham looks at the 3 for the lead, doesn't take it. Riefenstahl back out to Graham. Graham for the win. No good. 2 seconds left. Manu at the buzzer. No good, and the Maccabees are going to their first ever Skyline Championship. They stunned the #1 seeded Farmingdale State Rams on the road. It's Yeshiva University 75. Farmingdale State's 77-75. The Maccabees are going to the Skyline Championship, which will be in Purchase, New York, Sunday, either noon or 1 on the East Coast. Stay tuned for that. We will have post-game interviews coming up next. The Maccabees, in overtime, stunned the defending champs, the Farmingdale State College Rams, on the road. Maccabees 77, Rams 75. We'll see you in a bit. And we're back here in Farmingdale, New York, where the Yeshiva University Maccabees are going to their first ever Skyline Championship on Sunday at Purchase College. We have the two stars of the game, Gabe Leifer and Simcha Halpert. Guys, there's got to be a lot of emotions. Gabe, you know, you haven't been through that much. Simcha, we'll start with you. You know, 2 years. This is what you've been dreaming of, I believe. What can you say after that win?
I want to say shock. I can't believe it. It was a great win, and I can't wait to play a team. We're playing a team we played last year in the playoffs, my freshman year, in the playoffs of the championship at their place, and I don't know what else we can ask for. It's a dream come true to play at them again.
Gabe, you know, this is going to be the third year in a row, actually. This is my third year here. Obviously, I'm not a player, so no one really cares. But first year here, we beat Purchase in the playoffs in the first round. Last year, we played them on the road. We lost. A third year, the third game, it was a tough last year. I remember that we went down early by a lot of points, and we couldn't rebound. What's going to be the key on Sunday against the Panthers?
So
the key to winning championships, like you saw in that first half, is defense. Second half, we got a little tired. They took a punch at us. We didn't respond as well as we would have liked to. But if we just play our game, play our defense, move the ball around, it's really tough to stop us the way we're playing right now. Wow.
Enjoy this one. We'll let you guys go to the locker room for the last time. Signing off from Farmingdale, New York. One more.
Sorry. My little brother watching in LA in class right now. Love you, little bro.
Yeah.
It's a time difference. They don't go to school that late in LA. But from Jack Ganshaw alongside Simi Warsaw, we will be in Purchase on Sunday, either noon or 1. Gabe wants a shout out. Gabe.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who's watching in Israel. Really appreciate it. I know there's people at Shraga right now. I know there's people in friends' apartments right now. Very close friends, and yeah, we're really thank you so much.
Max Live for coming all the way out here.
Yeah.
Coming out here. Huge showing. Thank you guys so much.
Speaking of which, we will be there Sunday in Purchase, New York. I spoke to the commissioner. It's either going to be at noon or 1. We have the selection show Sunday night. Hopefully we'll be a part of it. But first, it's going to be Yeshiva University and Purchase Panthers live from Purchase. We'll see you there on Sunday. Have a good evening.
Thanks so much.